Hey, Mike Nelson here with Real Estate Fanatics with another video. This one is going to be, I can't pass my real estate exam and I don't know how to pass it. So if you got any questions around that after today's video, hit us up on the Calendly link down below. Schedule time to talk to us. We're always happy to talk about anything that you want to talk about. EXP move, it could be brokerage you're with. It could be around, how do I pass my real estate exam? Should I get into real estate? You know, all that stuff's open for questioning that we can certainly provide you some input on. So hit the subscription button for us and click the notification bell so you'll be notified of future videos, and feel free to like any of the videos, comment on it, just to interact with us as you desire. So you're sitting there, you've taken the real estate exam. Most places you have to take a state and a federal, one or both you can't seem to pass. Typically for us, we seem to see in Colorado the state one being more difficult than the federal one, or at least a fail rate on the state one. I know it's different for every state. Some require 150 some hours of education, others require like 60 hours. So as we mentioned, you know, every state's got a different amount of hours that's required. I think it's different levels of complexity based on state to state with laws and regulations. So this video is really good for all because you need to know, right? You're struggling, it's a mind game. So let me give you a few tips that I know of. You know, what you put into it is what you get out of it. But I've known some of the smartest people in our business who had to fail 2, 3, 4 times on the test. So it's not that they were stupid. That wasn't it at all. I think they just got test anxiety. So a lot of that is just looking around psychological things around, hey, don't freak out. Like, how can you calm your mind while you're taking the test? It's like anxiety sometimes. People are just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I didn't know the answers fully to the first 10 questions that I asked. That means I'm going to fail right away. Get out of your head. Have confidence going in there. That's the biggest thing I see from most people is they just get nervous. And sure, they're going to put you in this room a lot of times. And I think now they're doing it virtual with COVID and everything where they have a camera on you at all times. And they're like, don't rub your face. Like, they have all these rules in there so you're not cheating. I can see why that's a little intense. It can be a little intimidating. Yeah, but for me, it's right up here. It's mindset. Don't fake yourself out, right? Go in with confidence. And I know that sounds super easy and super basic, but how many times have we changed answers because we weren't confident about it? When I say confident, it doesn't mean you knew the right answer. It just meant confident that you had a gut feeling that you eliminated 2 of them and you're down to 50-50, and you probably have a good gut, and don't change your answers. So that kind of takes me to the second piece that I see why people fail a lot is most of the tests that I'm aware of, you can kind of click the check mark that's like, hey, leave this one for review later. So that way you know to go back and look at a few of these that you're unsure of. I would suggest doing that, not for every single question, but if you have some that you're just unfamiliar with, I would always check those so I could go back and review it. Now here's the trick. Sometimes later on, the opposite of that question was answered, and you're like, on the first question, you're like, it could be A or B. I'm not real sure what the definitions of both those were, but all of a sudden they ask a question where it's the other answer, and you're like, that clicked, it rung a bell. So that means the one I had before, I know the answer to that one because I was able to figure out the answer to another question later that was similar to that. However, where most people fail here is they second guess themselves. They click too many review questions, they go in and change too many damn answers, and then they end up failing by 2 questions. I mean, how many people have done that? Let's be real. Let's be honest. If you've taken a test, you've changed some answers that ended up being right, because guess what? Your gut instinct is right more times than not. So don't change an answer unless 100% confident that you know you screwed that answer up. If it's like 50-50, like I still don't know, I think I should change it, don't. Leave it with your gut instinct. A couple of other tricks you can have on passing your real estate exam is there's lots of like tests that are out there that you can purchase for, like Certify You. I know there's a lot of different CE Shop, all those kind of places have different tests that you can take. My goal and my gut is to always take as many of those practice tests as I could, because you might take 1,000 different questions around your real estate, and somehow your brain is smart enough to know later on, I remember that question. I might not remember the answer, but I do remember that question being self-tested on. So you're gonna lean towards a little more confidence walking in that room and probably at least getting it down to a 50-50 answer. And that's my thing. Always pare it down. If you have 4 answers, you can pretty well generally eliminate 2 with some pretty strong confidence. It's really always just the final 1 or 2, trying to get it down to 1 from 2. But I would take my 50-50 chances all day long instead of 25% chances when you're still trying to guess all 4 of them. Always read the question carefully. I think that's kind of the last tip I would leave you with is look at the question carefully. I think they do this on purpose. They probably do. They have sometimes some double negatives in there. And so read the question very very carefully, because that's going to give you the right answer. There are some true and false. There's some simpler ones in there, but a double negative, if you don't catch the double negative, you could guess the wrong answer thinking you had the right answer. So confidence, studying a lot, and then just knowing how to test take. I think that's where a lot of people fail. I've always been a pretty good test taker, and I think it's because I'm confident when I go in. It's bitten me a couple times, but generally speaking, I passed on my first time. I barely passed, but I could care less. All I wanted to do was the pass fail. Nobody remembers you for getting 90% on your state exam. I can tell you and promise you that. Nobody gives two craps about that. All they really care about is, did you pass, did you fail, give your paperwork to the state, get your license. So confidence and being able to eliminate questions, being able to mark some of them for review for later on, and not changing your answer unless you absolutely are 100% sure that the answer is correct. Those are the tips that I would give you on how to pass your real estate exam. Let me know if that helps. So if you're struggling, you want to need more advice from me, go ahead and click the Calendly link down below. Let me know. Happy to talk to you about any of that stuff. I've been in real estate for like 10 years now. It's been a while since I've taken the test, but it's all still the same tactics. I mean, the questions have changed, but the strategies on how to get successful and pass the test haven't really changed. So hit the subscription bell button for us, click the notification bell, put some comments in here for us, and we'll see you on the next video.